Well, hello everyone. Can everyone hear us? I hope so.
What do you want, Harper?
It's live, people. It's live. Jack,
Live.
how are you doing?
What are we supposed to be doing?
No, remember we're doing that DZtv thing. Remember?
When we start, tell me when we're going to go live.
But we're live. Jack, we're live. We're live now.
Hey, everybody.
They can't talk back yet, Jack.
Oh.
They're just in the chat. They can only hear us. They can't respond.
That's okay. We'll just fix that in post, will you? Like we'll start now.
No, this is live. There's no editing. You can't swear. No more walking around in your junk hole hanging out. Well, you could probably still do that.
Well, if I do, then just put up that picture with the Indian and the dial tone.
No, I can't edit it, Jack. There's no editing. This is it.
This is blowing my mind. I don't know.
If I start picking my nose, they'll see it.
I don't know. I was just innocently reading my X-Men comic, and then this happened.
It's my X-Men comic. How'd you get my X-Men comic?
This one here?
It's X-Men #2.
Now, how did you know that?
I could see the cover. I can see you, Jack.
This is too much. This is too much.
Oh, look at you representing coaches school too. I got Deadzone.
Now, how did you know that?
Jack, I can see you.
Oh.
I can see your beer.
No one else can see though. So.
No, they all can see you. There's a whole 5 people can see you.
Well, if they want to see the full shirt, then.
Everyone, can you see Jack in the chat? Please, just let us know if you can see Jack. It'll take a bit. I think there's a delay. So, in 5 minutes, they'll be like, "Yeah, we can see Jack."
By then, I'll already be gone, eating some chicken.
Chicken. You're gonna start eating chicken on the podcast? What? Is this a podcast? It's a live event. We did this once before, but it was impromptu, and we didn't feel the pressure. But now there's mounting pressure on us.
Not nearly as streamlined as professional as this.
Yeah, definitely not streamlined nor professional as this. And people are saying they can see you, Jack. Except for Coach, who said Jack who.
Dahu Dore, Dahu Dore. Hey.
You wanted singing. You got singing. So we have to fill some time here. We're
yes. Let's get the show on the road. We'll put up that thing you said you were gonna make. Then we'll start this thing.
I sort of already did that poorly.
Oh. I was reading X-Men #2.
I don't know why you have X-Men #2. I'm just very confused about that. But yes, we're here. And it's Deadzone TV. This is the premiere issue. Thank you to our patrons who made this possible. This is all your fault.
Yeah. You looked into the abyss, and this is the abyss looking back at you.
Yep.
It's on you.
It's all your fault.
I think Nietzsche said that.
I think Nietzsche said that. Yeah, this is what the podcast looks like without editing.
Yeah.
There's awkward pauses and
when I say something funny, I'll hey.
Yeah, at least you can point to the screen. Usually you point to the screen, but nobody's looking.
Yeah.
So, people, what do you want to talk about? Oh, there's a contest going on. I should mention that.
Yes. Start with the contest. That's why everyone has tuned in. That's the most important thing in our world right now. The universe is on fire with contest buzz.
Yes. You can email us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com with the subject Hornets, and just let us know what your favorite part of the show is. And yeah, that's the important part. Or you can become a patron. patrons get 2 chances to win because there's going to be 2 Hornets for patrons, 1 for regular folks. And fun times. Other than that, yeah, we don't have much to talk about. We're just going to be sitting here staring at the wall for an hour, so I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, well, this will be an hour, so buckle up, get reclined. But news of the machine from which we're going to randomly draw the winners from is the construction is well underway, and it will be a sight.
Yes,
we'll have to do it live during one of these.
That's a good idea. Next one maybe, or the one after, I guess, because it won't be until the end of June. I think we actually put an end date on this contest, unlike all our other contests.
Yeah,
where we forget about them and people have to remind us, hey, you're still running a contest. I would like to say, Coach, stop your shameless plugs for your own channel in the chat. I think that's rude. And
where's that ban function? Where's that?
Jack, don't hit too many buttons. You'll probably turn off your video. Are you a hacker in some movie?
I just I just zoomed in on a picture, a low quality, low res picture, and it instantly became very, very high res, and I was able to look in the reflection of the cell phone and see where they were by a street sign.
You've got their license plate number now.
Yep.
There's one question in the chat so far that we can answer very definitively is, when is Mantic North America Con happening? And the answer is never. It's never going to happen. So don't get your hopes up.
Never is pretty harsh. Never is the grand scheme.
Okay, when hell freezes over, how's that?
Ooh, this getting salty. This is what happens when Rob can't edit out his anger, his bursts of unfettered rage.
Yes, please, Bill, do stay. We do have 3 Hornets, 2 to Patreon backers, 1 to regular listeners. So yes, please stay. And yeah, Mantic North America, they wanted to have it in September, but all the Kings of War people have their own events planned, and they're trying to plan around that. And it's the rumor is now not until 2019. We will see. We'll see what happens. It's blame Kings of War. That's all I have to say. I won't go into more detail because I don't know any more detail. That's all I know.
Is Coach still plugging his channel in the chat?
Yes, he said his Hornets are limited edition, so they're more special.
Oh, he's shoehorning in his contest during our contest discussion. That's not, and I'm wearing his colors too. I thought it would be a nice and subtle nod, a nice Easter egg to our pal, the very respectable, very well-intentioned coach. But this is how I'm repaid.
Yep, he's a bad man. Everybody noticed you were wearing his colors right away. There was a bunch of people saying, "Hey, nice shirt."
Oh, does everyone know?
Well, everybody in the know knows.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to cyberstalk Coach, though, you know what school he works in. Oops. We inadvertently doxed Coach.
You can't see that.
Just keep moving. You're like the Flash.
Shut up, Iris. You drive me crazy.
Well. And yes, King's War guys are messing it up, and that is some racist stuff.
Yeah. That's okay. I couldn't go anyways, so maybe next year.
Yep. Maybe they should do it at the same time as Adepticon.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we're happening.
We are happening. But in between that, we have Rob and I. It's going to come out soon on the YouTube. We do a walkthrough of the Deadzone, the Mercs manual here. We went through. We have a lively discussion about the new Asterion Merc is a little OP, But other than that, and again, the picture Howlett on the cover is I don't know, is pretty dynamite. Any thoughts? Well, actually, wait till the video. Wait till the video. I don't want to hear anything about it. Wait till the video. We go through pretty page by page. Other than that,
Jack,
we're going to be doing a role playing game with what is it? It's Starfinder, but in the Deadzone world. And so,
Jack, no, who's your president again? Is it?
If anyone wants to know, see, that's my character right there. I'm a Z.
Jack, I think you're living in that other universe. It's Mandela effect happening all over again.
No, I have these items. They're right, Rob. They're right here.
Jack, are you in the other universe right now?
I'm going back to reading my X-Men too.
In this universe, you read X-Men, not Avengers? I'm so confused. I'm the Mandela effect now.
You are the Mandela effect. You're the Mandela effect. You watched Andy Dufresne swim through a tunnel of feces.
That's a different movie in your reality too, I guess.
You are also a Moor in the best Robin Hood movie ever.
A Moor?
Yeah.
In my reality, Moors are black.
Well, so is Mandela.
Oh, Nelson. Not George. I don't know.
George Mandela. Yes. Remember George Mandela? You're in the dry cleaning down in Ridgeway. Remember him? Fantastic. My silk ties never looked brighter. No, not George Mandela. Don't make me lash out.
It's too late. It's happened. You've actually confused everyone in the chat now, Jack. I hope you're happy. Is this like some kind of psyop campaign that if you just keep talking about the Mercs book enough that they have to make it because you've made it a real thing? It's a what do they call those things? A tulpa. You're creating a tulpa. If enough people believe in it, it will become true.
If your rant, if your rant in the video we did, well, you're editing it, so you'll probably take it out. But yeah, it's still. Yeah, we go in depth, and that. What's the one? What's the one that was so OP'd? Version 1.
Nastanza?
Yeah, see, he acts like he doesn't know what we're talking about, and there he is.
I thought you were gonna say no, Freya. You know, the OP one. Because in your reality, it's not Nastanza.
About how they. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh, Rusted Beetle's in your reality. He says he has the Mercs book on pre-order. You and Rusted Beetle, same reality. Interesting.
See, so what have you been up to, Mantic wise? What's new in our Mantic universe?
We got our Warpath pledge, and they forgot to send us 2 mules. And in less than a week, or just over a week, I got the replacement mules. Those guys, those Mantic guys, they're on the ball. I think it's because of our influence in the world. Actually, they have no idea who we are. So it was just that's how good it was. Yeah. Replacement.
George Mandela in shipping doesn't know who you are. Who goes, oh, there, 1, 2 mules. Mantic tape across the top.
Yeah, they still. That's why I know they don't know who we are. They still have not sent me a box with some Mantic tape in it.
Why were
the moment that happens, I know somebody at least in shipping watches.
Now, why was it that we were discussing that?
So I could fake unboxings. I could unbox it.
Oh,
tape it back up so you would never know.
Clever subterfuge, so I wouldn't know that it was a pre-unboxed, like a giddy, a little boy.
Now I just don't care. I just unbox it. Yeah. That was back when I actually cared about your feelings.
You don't care anymore.
I don't. I definitely don't.
No.
Rusty Beal did ask, since it's our first episode, can we talk about how we got into gaming, not just Mantic, but gaming in general? As a kid, I played Monopoly. I don't even think I did as a kid, actually. I don't think I played Monopoly until I was an adult.
And I don't call it gaming. I call it hustle and side hustle. That's how I make my
It's all a game to you.
So
No? Yeah.
Ripped.
You want some of that cash money?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty close to getting my grill, actually.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
And yes, no, seriously, we started gaming. At least I did with D&D. I don't know. You didn't play anything before D&D, did you, Jack?
No, there was nothing before D&D when we started. There was D&D was like when we were we chillins.
Yeah, like there was definitely no Warhammer came after we started playing. Trying to think if there was anything else. We diversified. Like everybody started buying RPGs. It was RPGs mostly. I got BattleTech early on, but we mostly played it like an RPG, or just did little skirmishes. Didn't really play it like seriously. Yeah, Shadowrun. Played Shadowrun back in the day. This is all high school and post high school.
But our miniatures are playing miniature skirmish games and war games. That was rekindled after decades with Deadzone. Young Rob Harper scrolling around, feeding his addiction, chasing the dragon on Kickstarter, and went, hey.
Well, this was all before that. That Deadzone was the first thing. Like that was even before I was addicted to Kickstarter, because I saw it on Beast of War. And at the time, you were getting back into playing D&D, and I wanted to play games. So I thought if I just bought some game, I'd force Jack to play. And so that's why I did Kickstarter. Little did I know it was going to take a year to come out. So we got into Dust since we had to fill that time. So then we started playing Dust. But even before that, we played Warhammer like 3rd edition or something, Warhammer Fantasy. But we didn't play it very long. We put some troops together. We quickly realized it was way too expensive for our poor little minds.
Yeah, and plus that was like in high school, and you don't have any disposable income, and there's no. It was not destined for a big, long-lasting relationship of tabletop gaming. It was a very flash in the pan.
Yeah, because like we said at the time, that was our all RPG. We played Axis and Allies for a long time in the middle. Poorly, but we did play it.
Hate that game.
I hate that game. And yeah, but yeah, Deadzone was what got us into it. But we did play Dust for probably a year before Deadzone came out. Never played 40K, so we have no idea anything about 40K other than what we've gleaned off of the internet and being forced to hear so much about it.
Yep.
So, and even our fantasy knowledge is probably all wrong. Well, especially now with Age of Sigmar, but even back, what did you play? I played Dark Elves.
Skaven for life, bitch.
Yeah, you were Skaven, and our friend Dave played Orcs, I think.
Yeah,
so that's what I think it was. High Elves and Orcs came in the box set, and I changed my High Elves to Dark Elves. So, and yeah, role-playing games though, like we have thousands. Call of Cthulhu we played in high school a lot with our buddy Rich. He was a GM. And our other friend Charlie did. He was the GM. Everybody pretty much got a game, and the GM did.
Yeah.
He was a Shadowrun guy, and we had a friend who was into like GURPS and all the Palladium stuff, which we'll probably get into later. But it would take like a year to make a character, so we always just made characters, and by then we got so bored we stopped playing. So.
Well, I don't know how much later. We're 21 minutes into our hour-long show, so like.
It's true.
It is true. I can tell time.
Yep. So we'll have to see. What's in the behind me? I have Secrets of the Lost Tomb. I have Legendary Encounters. I have regular Legendary. I have Sedition Wars only because I bought it for all the bases. Original Deadzone box. A bunch of Merc stuff from the Kickstarter that I've never opened. Same with the Zombie side. Arkham Horror I just bought. Haven't opened it yet. Dungeon Saga never played. Panzer General I got for free. Marvel Legendary. Dark Age. Mech Warrior Dark Age. Because I have a little obsession with mechs. And that's about it behind me. It's mostly that. It's mostly Kickstarters that I've backed and never played. That's what's behind me. And over here, on this side, over there, is all my dust stuff, or art dust stuff. And that's bones and other things that I've never put together. That's it. On up there's Sully. That's my raven. And I have a alien and a fetus. Fetus alien in a jar. And what else I got up there? Some skulls and stuff. Cthulhu. Cthulhu's over this side. He's right there. That's Cthulhu.
He's got his bong up there that's always packed with a nice indica, just to, you know. But the carb is the skull's mouth, and you just get in there.
When was high school for us? I went from 89 to 93. I think high school was for me. And Jack went from like 85 to 80 or 99, somewhere in there. He was in high school for many years.
In fact, I'm still this year. I'm hoping
get your diploma finally.
The gown is very tight on me now, and that little hat with the tassel still in its shrink wrap. But this year I'll do it.
Yes, that Merc stuff I should sell, but the problem with selling stuff in Canada is the shipping. It's nobody wants to buy it and pay like $80 in shipping. So I do have a bunch of crap I want to sell. Yes. I would do a highlight of some terrain stuff, but it's all at Jack's house. So maybe next time we'll dig some stuff out and show it off. But it's packed away at Jack's house in a totally different room. So
that's a good idea, though, folks. Spitball some ideas for content once a month.
Yeah, we don't want to have to think of our own content. Please make it up for us.
No, I just want to sit and read comics and
read your Mercs book.
And now I'm forced to interact and do this due to the avarice of patrons' greedy green eyes.
And yes, Terreno Hawk said, "Yay, Skaven." Go Skaven. And Rusty Beetle said he played Middle Earth role-playing game in D&D. Well, he said he played D&D from 1982, but he played Middle Earth role-playing in high school.
1982.
Well, I think Beetle said before his parents played D&D, and that's how he got into it. So he's probably been playing since he was able to talk.
Oh.
Jack does need a smoking jacket. Maybe that'll be a Patreon stretch goal.
A smoking jacket? I do need a smoking jacket. A pipe.
You said you wanted to get into smoking a pipe.
I said that under extreme sleep deprivation on a train. If I remember correctly, I hadn't slept for a considerable amount of time, and I was considering when we got to Adepticon purchasing a pipe as jonesing for it. So I think history will tell you, Rob, that I did not, in fact, purchase a pipe. Although I purchased a lot. I purchased a lot.
Where's Beetle to? I mean, not Beetle. Where's Georgie to go? Oh no!
Don't say that.
Jack, people want to know if you were able to get a real hug from Beetle at Adepticon this year. Oh,
I've got a story. Oh, do I have a story? There is something. It's this will go down in the annals of history. Beetle and I were hanging out, doing whatevs, just chatting, and we have what is lovingly referred to as Schrodinger's selfie. He was taking a picture of us with his phone, and he got the picture, and there was me, and there was him, but his lightning fast reflexes. That picture was deleted within an instant. He claims it was deleted within an instant. But there's this flurry of activity. So I may or may not, and I will never know, have a selfie with Beetle.
But it's since no one will ever see it, we'll never know if it's real or not.
That's much like a cat in a box with poison.
Yep. It's both alive and dead. So your picture both exists and doesn't exist.
Exactly. I hold out some hope that it does because, beats with a selfie would be pretty.
Oh, Beetle says there was no picture. So, but he's an unreliable narrator. So,
I think he is. He's like George Mandela down at the dry cleaner there. He's always full of stories.
People want to see what you're drinking too. What kind of beer are you drinking?
We're not sponsored, so I'll only go so far as to say I like my beer like I like my women. A little bit of color, an English accent, and wide hips.
Well, you're not drinking a stubby, at least.
Oh.
Yes, so I guess he's not going to show us his beer. Sorry, people. You'll never know what strange beer he's drinking.
No, if someone there from a craft brewer, I like my beer also like I like my pornography, made by amateurs and
free
and German. So if there's any craft brewers out there who want to get on the, it's in the show notes below, or up there. See, click that tab right there. Okay, yeah. See, Rob, put the annotation in when this is done.
I don't annotate anything.
Okay, and then down below there's the bell. Hit the bell, bang that bell, as Rob likes to say. But he spells it Belle, which I don't know. And then also subscribe and follow today's mystery link.
Buy merch.
Buy merch.
Lit merch.
Yeah, like that dapper sweater behind you. That
or this shirt.
Or that shirt.
Or this really dirty mouse pad. Not this one in particular, but.
Oh, hey, but if you get the cash, you know what?
Yeah, maybe I should do that as a contest. Have my dirty mouse pad. A Rusty Beetle said you're supposed to say "ding my dong."
Easy, come on. This is a family show, Beetle. Come on.
Joe in Arizona says now he's afraid to ask how you like your coffee.
Yeah, I like my coffee like a.
Yes. It is best not to ask. Coach is correct. Don't ask those kind of questions. You might go somewhere place you can't come back from.
Rob can edit it out post. Don't worry about it.
There's no editing. There's no post. Jack, there's no post.
He wouldn't let me just fly untethered.
Well, I'm happy you haven't stood up yet. That's all I'm saying. Caradram, ask Andrew from Family Gamers what lit is, because he's lit.
Yeah. We're at the halfway mark. Boom, halfway mark. I'm just looking.
Jack wanted a countdown on the side of the screen. That's he can only stand this so much.
Rob will put it in afterwards when he does the editing. Remember that show 24? That sound where the
with Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, with the count going in. That's what I want. That's when we put this up in a couple weeks. I want to hear that.
They want to know why you have black bars on your side of the screen. I don't know why Jack is different than me. We have the exact same camera. We bought them at the same time. So I have no idea why Jack's got black bars and I do not. Probably some setting.
Let me see here. Let me just play with the settings.
No, Jack, don't play with anything. If Jack disappears, it's your fault.
What's going on here?
Oh, now you've done it. Just me now, I guess. The thing is, he jokingly did this. He'll never be able to get back on.
God damn. Fuck. Oh.
Whoa, careful. We almost saw below the belt. Show off some of those sexy legs.
They are sexy. They are sexy.
He said you're so vintage, you're actually pan and scan.
I don't get the reference.
Oh. He's so old, he doesn't even understand what pan and scan is.
I honestly don't get the reference.
Pan and scan instead of widescreen. Get it?
No.
No. I thought it was funny, Beetle. You're a funny man. Yeah, so we've exhausted everything we were supposed to talk about. If there was only someone who would just pop in and join us.
The special guest who is now 2 minutes late.
Yeah. We're just going to sit here and stare at the screen until it happens.
No, we are not. We have a lot of things we can discuss.
Okay.
We hit on the big ones, like subscribe, ring the bell,
ding the dong.
The Merc book video coming out probably next week. We have
in your reality, are we a video channel, not a podcast?
Game. Yeah, and we got our mules. I got a couple hornets sitting right here.
I like that shot with the beer bottle right in the camera. That's pretty cool. Yes, the hornets and blaster. I can see there's hiding in there.
I should have a lava lamp there.
That's what. By the way, that's what my alien fetus. He's actually a lava lamp. I haven't turned him on in forever though. He'd probably explode. What are other hobbies? I'm afraid to ask what Jack's hobbies are, but I like putting together Gundams, as a lot of people know. I collect comic books. We do a show on the Superhero Crew, Family Gamer's other channel, about X-Men. I'm an X-Men fan from back in the day. G.I. Joe. I was a G.I. Joe fan back in the day. Jack read Avengers. And Jack, what do you have hobbies?
I work. My favorite hobby is when I get home, I sit down on my Easy Boy chair and I reach down and pick up the revolver, and I.
Jack. This is supposed to be a family-friendly, happy show, not a depressing, want to kill yourself show. Put the gun down.
Yeah, I'm a homeowner, so I.
No, not depressing, Jack. Not depressing.
Yeah, life is is doldrums, punctuated ever so slightly by these rare occasions in which I can be with my peeps, perform a little bit, do some social interaction.
Jack,
oh my God!
Someone else is here. Shh.
Hide.
Don't let them know you're here.
Is this the meeting?
The meeting.
Just the meeting for the.
Yes.
I'm embarrassed to say.
Hi, my name is Rob.
Yeah, we already introduced ourselves and told everyone that we're alcoholics.
Is this the I like to wear pumps anonymous meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's after, Pat. We're doing the DZtv right now. The meeting's after this happens.
Got it.
Yes, Pat is he's fashionably late, but he's here.
Yeah, I have a raccoon problem. I just had a Mexican standoff with a bunch of gangster raccoons from across the street when I got out of my car, so it was a 30-minute standoff.
You can't.
That raccoon gave me the "I see you" kind of thing, and being from Chicago, couldn't back down. I said, "Well, bring it." So we stared at ourselves for a good 30 minutes, and he ran off. Now I'm afraid he's going to run and get his friends.
Well, if something happens to you, Pat, we know a trash panda was involved.
Exactly. So, you know, I got jumped by a bunch of gangster raccoons.
Yeah. So there we go. Now we can start the show. Rob, all the rest of
I'll start. Yep, there we go. Where's that start thing?
Start the intro. Now Candy Pat's here.
That was all outtakes before now. So, Pat, how's it going?
It's going well. You know, it's been a long week. A lot of things going on. A lot of prep for Gen Con still. Real life issues.
Gen Con. Is that the next con for you?
That's the next con. August 2nd through the 5th, which is not really August 2nd through the 5th for me. More like July 30th through August 7th for myself.
Yeah, a lot to do.
Oh, yeah.
At least this time you don't have 1,000 pieces of terrain to put together.
No, thank God for that. But I do have a Star Saga board I have to build.
Oh, yeah, doing a lot of demos for that?
Not so much a demo, but we got a special scenario set up for custom scenario for Star Saga to run. It's going to be 3D board built. It's going to be a reveal as you go, so parts of it will be covered up. Can't see it till you open the door, kind of thing. So
sound off in the chat who's going to Gen Con. It's going to be a good times. Jack, are you going to Gen Con?
Unfortunately, Rob, I was just on MySpace here, and Gen Con has been canceled. Apparently, all of the Kings of War people couldn't get it all put together. So, sorry, maybe the year after Gen Con will come back.
I don't think Pat finds you funny.
No, I'm catching up with the chat here. I'm trying to see who's in there. And then I saw Beetle said he's never been to Gen Con. Beetle, go to Gen Con.
And Terrainaholic will be there, so you get to see Bill and Sue at least.
I see Bill and Sue all the time. I see Bill and Sue in my dreams.
Uh-oh. Doesn't everyone? Yes. Gen Con is probably one of those things we should do eventually, but definitely not this year.
Yeah, it's Gen Con is a commitment. I won't lie or sugarcoat it for anyone. If you're going to go to Gen Con, you got to be ready.
Yes.
You know, if you've never been, I mean, it's hard to I guess to exaggerate when I say you can spend all day in that dealer room and not see any of Gen Con.
It's that big, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So this show, we had planned to discuss some things, boys.
Yeah. Open up the agenda now. Now we're on script. From here on in, everything we say has been written. We've got a writer's room in there. That kid, what's his name with the hat, with always the crazy things always written on it.
Guillermo.
Here. Yeah, that guy's on fire. So this.
Jack refuses to learn the guys in the writers' room's names. It's just this thing.
Well, it's kind of sad, though. You know, Guillermo loves Jack, and Jack won't even acknowledge him.
He's a little swarthy for me. Okay, I'm done. I'm putting these down.
That was one step too far.
Away with you. Away. I apologize. Rob, edit that out later.
Yes. Jack doesn't get the concept of live. It's live, Jack.
It's live. You have to censor yourself.
Jack has never censored himself in his life. Beetle said, everyone loves Jack except for me. I'm indifferent. At least he's only indifferent to you, Jack.
Yeah, because he does not tolerate the vast majority of the population. So indifferent is probably the greatest compliment that young Russet Beetle can pay me.
The beats.
Well, I can call him beats, and I think Coach, since he's the one who started it out, It's debatable. History will show that Coach started it, but I don't know if he's the first to say beats or beat. I think Coach says beat.
Anyways,
I think I like it pluralized.
Pluralized beats.
Let's make it a thing. It's now beats.
Beats.
He loves it too.
And if you really want to get into it, throw down some Dr. Dre.
Yeah. See.
Everyone in the chat now. We have to give some nickname too. So there you go. Look what you've done. Anyways, let's get into the actual topic we were going to talk about.
All right.
So we're having Pat on because he is an industry insider, some might say. Is that true, Pat?
Outsider, insider, spectator.
Well, you've been around. How's that? You've been around the block a few times.
Yes.
And we wanted to talk about the industry in general because I think it's interesting, especially with what's been going on lately. And we might have things to say. So, the industry of mini wargaming, as we like to think of ourselves. Not just board games, because board games are way too big of a subject. But actual miniature wargaming, obviously.
I think we lost Jack.
I'm right here.
Oh.
He's just drunk.
Looked like he was having a tonic-clonic seizure.
No, Rob's dulcet tones. He was orating. You know when someone has like Obama, when he could say, he had a presence. He could make a speech. Rob's got that same charisma. I think he doesn't use it. He's very mindful of the power of his abilities. But anyways, go on, Rob. Go on.
Anyways. Yes, the industry. So, really what's changed in the industry most recently is the rise of Kickstarter. I think everybody can agree with that.
Very much so.
And, yeah, it's changed a lot. Any idea of how it's going to go in the future? I know Mantic obviously is big, and we're not going to go too much into Mantic because Pat can't say much about his own company. But in general... Like Kickstarters have changed a lot. It's definitely what do they call it? It's when they democratized, I guess you can say, the whole genre of miniature wargaming. So now it's you put a thing online, and either you get ripped off or it ships with 1,000 miniatures so that they can pump up the numbers.
Yeah.
Especially things.
You've both gotten yourselves quite the haul from Kickstarter. I know you could probably tell some horror stories, but also some triumphs.
Well, I've actually been very lucky with the Kickstarters, but then I haven't backed a lot than some other people that I've known. So as far as just looking around the message boards and Facebook mainly, there's been quite a few people that have been burned by Kickstarter. So, Mantic's had their fair share of problems with Kickstarters in itself, but hopefully we resolve those issues and such.
Yeah, the good thing about Mantic, it's that it may have caused delays and huge things, but you always come out with it at least. There's been companies that you Kickstarter and it just half of it ships or it doesn't ship at all. I've not been burned by miniatures yet, knock on wood, but I'm still waiting for a 3D printer I did, but yeah. Beetle says let's talk about Mercs and Robotech. We'll talk more about Robotech, but Mercs, I got all my stuff from Mercs. I know a lot of people had an issue with Merc Kickstarter. That's Mercs. What was it called? Mercs Recon. I got all my stuff, luckily. Like, I got lucky with that one. But I guess some people never got some of the stuff they were promised, which that's what you kind of get. Some companies are really unreliable, and especially companies like that where they overpromise. I think Mantic had that issue with what was it, the Dreadball Extreme? That was one that kind of broke their back with overpromising, right?
Was it overpromising, or it was just that we did we not get everything out for Extreme?
Yeah, everything came out. It was just overpromised that it was like Mantic realized, hey, we can't keep doing this if we want to make money. Like they put out like I think it would end up being like 300 miniatures or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the problem was they were far too generous with their with the Kickstarter, as opposed to say a Robotech situation
where they just said sorry.
Yep.
Well, Robotech was Wave 1 came out, and then they realized, yeah, we don't have any money to do Wave 2, and then they just try to sell stuff in Wave 1 to pay for Wave 2, and it's just fell deeper and deeper in debt. I got lucky and I missed that with Robotech too. That would have been something I would have backed, but at the time I just didn't.
I almost backed it myself, but you know, I know Palladium, I know Harmony Gold, and Harmony Gold hasn't handled the Robotech license well since day one. And I was leery about, I hate to say, you know, I hate talking bad about companies, but I was weary about Palladium a little bit because of their Starfleet Battle figs that came out when they did a second version of Starfleet Battles. I forget what it was called, Starfleet something. And those miniatures were horrible. So I had my doubts on the Robotech one with those miniatures coming out looking well at all. And apparently they came out better than I thought they would be, but not as well as they probably could have been.
Well, I have a bunch of them because they sold them off cheap because they had to destroy them all by the end of April, I think it was.
Oh, did you go on and get some?
Yep, I did get some. And the thing with them is it's
Of course you did.
Of course, I had to get. Well, I could. They're going to be destroyed. They're very fiddly. The end result is nice, but putting them together is hell. Like it's such small pieces and like literally pieces that are microscopic. Like
it's a Malifaux model.
I've never had a Malifaux model. Are they bad for that too?
Yeah, when you have to glue the mustache on someone's face, the handlebar mustache on someone's face, then I think you've gone too far with the parts.
Yeah. Yeah, these ones, it's like little antennas and stuff that are... I still think that they were made as big model kits and just miniaturized. Because there are some pieces I'm like, this is not a miniature piece. It's too small. Like, it doesn't make any sense that you would even bother putting this detail on the thing. But, yeah. Palladium was a... They've been known for the... Like, when we played... Like I was saying before, we had GURPS and that kind of stuff back in the day. Palladium was just a company. We never knew. But over the years, I guess they've just gotten a worse and worse reputation of ripping people off and not doing what they said they were going to do.
Yeah, and that follows you around after a while. And unfortunately, it's, you know, Rifts. I enjoyed Rifts, but, you know, it was just associated with Palladium, and I couldn't continue to put money into Rifts and stuff like that.
Rifts. Rob,
yeah, it's Rifts, not GURPS. It's Rifts. Yeah. That's what I kept saying. Yeah, that's what I kept.
See, that's how much we are the experts in the field, right there. Rob's been saying for an hour.
Rob's the boss right now, so I didn't want to correct him. So that's why I specifically said Rifts.
Yeah, it is Rifts, not GURPS. Yeah, GURPS is Steve Jackson. That's right. Yeah, it's Rifts. That was the one that was Chaos.
Rifts. Yeah.
But yeah, Palladium is just one of those companies that's eventually they were supposed to do it in conjunction with another company, and then their business relationship fell apart, and everyone else is just caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have 10 more minutes, so Rob, next topic. Quick fire.
Jack is the time Nazi. There's a story for you, a time Nazi. There's also the little companies going out of business like Spartan Games and Tor, and Spartan Games sold their stuff, right? Tor did too, I guess. And what was the other one I just thought of? There was another one that just went out too. Well, Palladium just went, but Palladium's still technically around. I don't think they're
still around, but
yeah, they've just lost all their licenses.
Yeah.
But all these little companies, you think that it's a sign of the industry that it reminds me of the comics industry back in like the 90s, where after Image came, I guess it was 2000s, Image and Dark Horse and DC and Marvel obviously were the big ones, and all these other little companies tried to come around and start up companies, and they just eventually were rolled under by the big ones. Is that what's happening now in the industry? You think that these big companies, like even Mantic's now up in the upper echelon with like Warlord and who are the guys do Flames of War? What's that company named? And obviously GW is the biggest one, the big juggernaut.
Yeah.
But do you think all these little companies are going to have a harder and harder time because they are able to put these Kickstarter games out, but how many other ones are they able to keep going?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, unless you're going to be doing a Kickstarter for every release you do, I guess. If you start a game, I guess Spartan, they had Spartan had 3 different types of games. Though they had the Dystopian Wars, they had the Fantasy Ship Battle one. What was that called again?
I don't know
that thing.
Well, Pat, you have models for everything.
Yeah, and then there was the Fire something Armada. Firestorm
yeah,
Armada.
Firestorm Armada. Yeah.
Which was the space fleet battle game. And all of those are model lines. And to keep going, I guess you have to keep releasing models. And unless you're willing to kickstart every release for every faction, armada, ship, or line, it's really hard. And unless you're generating a lot of income, it's really hard to keep tooling. Tooling, especially in plastic, is super expensive. Resin is a bit cheaper, but the molds don't last as long. I was talking with the resin caster for us at Mantic, and he only uses the molds for 25 casts.
That's it, eh? Wow.
Yeah, and then you have to make a whole new mold. Now, making the molds are cheaper for resin than making a plastic, but you can get a ton of casts out of plastic molds. But, plastic molds are, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're steel instead of rubber, right?
So I don't know if those guys are getting ground under because of the other companies, or the games become popular out of Kickstarter, but then they can't keep up with the demand. Like even Mantic, we still even get that. When is this coming out? When is this coming out? When is this coming out? It comes out when we have revenue to make the molds, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's anybody complains that Mantic keeps going back to Kickstarter, but like you say, it's if you want new things, they have to generate some income by getting that first wave of money for the molds to come out to start selling stuff.
Uncharted Seas. Rusted Beetle comes through with Uncharted Seas. That's the one.
And then Hawk War Games too. They sold all their stuff to TT Combat, and TT Combat also bought Relics, I think. And that's just they're just Troll Trader. They're a store in England, and all of a sudden they're buying up.
Relics was that a Ninja Division game?
Relics wasn't Relics the one with little puppet guys? I think that's what it was.
That was Ninja Division, right?
No, I think was that Tor? Maybe it was Tor. I can't remember who brought it though. Ninja Division's still making games. Relic Knights.
Beatles are info guy.
You're thinking of Relic Knights is Ninja Division.
Oh, you're right. Relic Knights is Ninja Division.
Yeah. Relics was, I think, little puppet guys. I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but all these companies are getting bought up, and it does really remind me of the comic industry because that's what I'm more familiar with.
In the case of Hawk War Games, I think, was a company that just didn't grow because I don't think he wanted it to grow. I mean, literally, Hawk War Games was one guy.
Yeah, Dave.
One guy doing the molds, the casting, the design, the whole thing. And so that in itself, I think, for Hawk War Games, it was just, someone comes along and goes, here, I'll give you this much. And then you're looking, while you love what the game you're making and everything, maybe sometimes it could be just a burden.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like when I've heard interviews with him, that it was, he got stuck doing the logistics stuff, especially they had a Kickstarter, and he was stuck doing the logistics stuff. He was never able to get to the creative stuff, which is actually what he wanted to do. Yeah. So he was like, screw this, I'm just going to sell it to somebody who wants to do it. They'll keep me on as the creative guy. And I think that was like the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
that wasn't really a failure.
He was able to keep doing the stuff he wanted to do and not have to worry about the stuff that was drowning him.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's great. And yeah, and somebody asked, Moonbun asked if Mantic would ever buy another company. I don't think they need to. The reason that Troll Trade bought companies is because they had the cash, but they didn't have maybe the creative end. Where Mantic has the creative end, they don't need to buy.
I would never say never.
Eventually, they'll be buying.
It would have to be something in line of what we do and would boost us in a way that we would not necessarily have to do something. You know.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to say that we would ever buy, but I wouldn't say never say never. I mean, if something came around that was worth the money, you know. I mean, Ronnie is a great guy getting us IPs anyway, so I don't see us really getting something else.
But Pat, I can see what you're saying. What Mantic needs to do is purchase, say, a media outlet, some sort of like a very cheap, easy, like I say, a Vinland Old Time Radio or a company, something like that. Where you just
definitely. We need a media outlet would be a really great thing. So
something like because you can pick one of those up. Like there's some that just do crazy.
We'd have to get one of those, and then we'd have to outsource it out to India.
Oh.
So I'm fine with that as long as they pay for the upfront costs. It's all, Jack, we can retire. It's all good.
You're fine with that. I'm the one who's going to be dressed in ethnic garb, doing shady out.
You'll be working under Japinder now, and yeah, not good. Actually, I can see Mantic buying like a scenery company. That would make more sense. An MDF company of some sort to start instead of having to outsource it to some of the other companies they do or like make deals with.
Yeah, that's a big if. I mean, because one of the things why we don't do a lot of acrylic or MDF stuff ourselves is because there's so many third-party guys out there already as it is. You know, why put money into something when you have 10 other guys doing it already?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right, for sure. Well, that's another thing I was thinking of is all the terrain companies that are now getting into game development, like Foreground and Battle Systems. They're making their own games. I guess they have their built-in fan base and clientele that they can expand into that, but that's a full market. They had their niche. Now they're moving into a market. I think all those kind of games, maybe not doomed to fail, but not doomed to be successful. I can't see either of those games coming out. Both of them Kickstarter once again, so it's easy front up money. But will they be able to be successful? Foreground's got a lot of money to make something successful, but it's the difference between being successful and making money. I think their scenery will be supplementing the income on those games for both companies probably.
Well, it is now 10 o'clock. That is 1 hour. The show is officially over. If you want to continue with the show, we have the paid version that will take over right after this. So those of you who are patrons, you'll be able to see the rest. Everyone else, goodbye. Sorry, you're going to be disconnected soon. What?
Jack, that's just rude.
I can't tell if he's serious.
He's not serious. He's a rude person who lives in a different dimension. In that other world, we have paid services. But in this dimension, Jack, it's all free.
Sure. And Moonbun, about Manticon tickets, I think Ronnie's going to be making an announcement of what's going to be happening with that publicly here very soon.
So all our lies earlier might just go to nothing. Maybe
it's true. Yeah, it might be all lies. So I'll just say there are a couple of snags right now, and we're trying to work through those snags. So
yes, he unlike us, he can't say much, but we just make stuff up. So that's the way it works. Yes. What else were we talking about before Jack interrupted us? Oh, the train companies. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be successful, but whatever. More power to games. Like, they look real nice, the games, but like the Battle System one looks like a ripoff of Firefly, and the GW one, GW, the foreground one is a ripoff of GW. It looks like it's an old fantasy, so
yeah,
it's
Yeah, yeah, the train. And real quick, Moonbun, yes, it is going to happen. Dates are changing, basically, is what's coming down to it.
Speaking of GW, what do you feel about they seem more focused on boxed games now. Is that like, obviously they're still doing their regular rollouts of 40K and Age of Sigmar stuff, but it seems like they just announced that big mech game, I think it's Epic Scale, or it's a weird scale, but it looks awesome because you get mechs. But
well, it's what I mean, you don't come from a GW background, do you?
No.
So basically what's happening now is GW is releasing all the games that are still popular that they ignored for the last 15 years, i.e. Necromunda, Blood Bowl, and now Epic, which was a 10, 15 mil scale version of 40K. And so what you're calling mechs are the Titans. And I was a huge fan of that scale in that game. But I enjoyed it more when it was called Space Marine. And then they redid the rules and made it Epic 40K. And I wasn't too much a big fan of that version. But it's just a line of, and I wouldn't call Epic a box game, because it truly is a miniature game, because it's I mean, if you need a comparison, Drop Zone Commander is roughly what it would look like.
Yeah, for that one, that's a new one.
Guys, tanks, millions of the tanks. It's the 15 mil version of Warpath, basically.
Yeah, but they are coming out with all these other games. What all the ones that
yeah, I mean, I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, I should say, if they released Gorka Morka again too.
Because it's what's his name? James Hewitt designed all these games while he was there, and it seems like they're all finally coming out.
Yeah, or he
redesigned them.
He retooled them, the rules and stuff, and but for the most part, the games themselves have changed not much at all. Blood Bowl, especially, I was a big fan of Blood Bowl too. Still am. There's just a few things that I hate so much about it that it makes me not want to play it.
Because the way the vibrating deck makes them all just kind of move around. At first, it's entertaining, but then
yes, that's the best. That's the best football game ever.
It's boring after a while.
Well, especially when you can't control them.
No, see,
or you start cheating and just tilting the whole board.
Yeah, or blowing on it.
Yeah, you don't want to play those kind of people. But then, like Shadespire. I'm thinking of games like Shadespire and all these games where
well, Shadespire is a different thing, and I think that's in response to some of the quicker, more faster games that have been coming out that use miniatures, i.e. Star Saga, Dungeon Saga, even Shadows of Brimstone.
Yeah, or there's a few others.
Dark Souls, even.
But I see this change in. I think ever since they stopped being part of, or their license went away from Fantasy Flight, all of a sudden all these games started coming out from them that would have normally either gone through Fantasy Flight or they just kept put away because they didn't want to compete with the games that are coming from
Fantasy Flight. They might have been projects that Fantasy Flight was going to get, but then Fantasy Flight split from them. So
yeah, they were able to release all these boxes. It's a big shift for them. It seems like to me to shift back when they were popular.
Yeah,
and not just being people just still playing 40K because it's 40K, but now I think they're doing the right thing. It's getting all these people back into all these either nostalgia games, but also games that people easily can get into instead of 40K, which obviously is not easy to get into.
No, it's not. And then Kill Team is another one, but I didn't include Kill Team because Kill Team originally was a White Dwarf article.
Well, that's a lot of these things came from White Dwarf. Yeah,
well,
even
Necromunda and all those were all games developed, and then
like 40K originally was Rogue Trade.
Was out of a back of a. No, Blood Bowl wasn't. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, a lot of those games though were articles back in the day.
Yeah,
like the ideas of them, and then they developed into real games. back when it was only Warhammer Fantasy, so they had a lot of expansion to get into. And yeah, I think that covers the industry. Like, obviously, GW is still the monster.
Well, I mean, and the honest truth is, GW is going to be around, and no one's going to be able to, and no one will honestly topple GW. But what other companies do, like Mantic or Warlord or who were we just talking about? Hawk War Games, things like that, or even Spartan for that matter. What they do is offer you alternatives. So you don't have to, even Privateer Press for that matter. Privateer Press was the first one to give you an alternative to play other than GW. And when they first came out, they were spectacular on price point. You know, you got the starter set for like $30. That was almost unheard of when you were paying $60 for 5 Terminators in the 90s.
Yeah.
When that came out. So you were getting 3 jacks, a Warcaster in metal for $30-$35 at the time. That in itself was revolutionary.
Yeah, it's still GW prices have become more normalized, but they're still way more expensive than everybody else. And some people say it's worth it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's a debate that no one will ever win. That's a debate no one will ever win.
Yeah, it's what you're willing to pay for anything. Personally, I would never pay those prices for a miniature, but yeah, some people are willing to pay it, but that's fine. I think it's more since most people do start in GW, they don't want to move outside of that. But like you say, people are slowly but surely moving outside of that bubble or playing other games and 40K or other games and HSC.
Yeah, it's no longer becoming a stigma or a dirty smell on you when you play another miniature game in the same game store that 40K players are playing in.
Yeah, well, people like Rick Hall and Ben Edwards in England and all these great Pathfinders you have that are starting to get Mantic into these stores and becoming Mantic stores almost, pushing 40K to the side. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, they're never going to go away, like you say, but just to get your foot in the door it's cool to show off. Hey, look, you don't have to have this complex game. You can have just a fun little game that you play, and it's especially with things like Dreadball and Star Saga entry games, get people playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Deadzone is the perfect game. And who was just saying that? Rusted Beetle. I mean, Deadzone is the perfect game to get into. And I'm not going to even say Mantic. I'm going to say a miniature war game. You know, you get your faction starter, you start to play, then you get used to the idea of moving figures around and rolling dice. And, you know, basically playing army men with plastic miniatures. You get used to that idea, like, you know, pew, pew, he's dead, yay. And then you want to move on to bigger and better things, hopefully.
Yeah.
Bigger and better than Deadzone? I haven't seen it yet. I ain't had it.
Well, yeah, that's a theoretical, Jack.
Because you live in a bubble, Jack.
I'm sure there's an infinite amount of galaxies with an infinite amount of star systems and suns, and each one could have a planet that may, in an infinite reality, have a game that's better than Deadzone. But until I see that, I'm not having it. We're gonna keep this. We're now 10 minutes into the paid only subscription based video, so we got to keep this factual. Faction Jackson.
That's the fact, Jack.
That's right.
That's your new catchphrase.
My T-shirt. Since I came with coach colors to kind of show him my love, and then he was showing his contest over top of ours. Maybe I'll have to get a T-shirt made up.
That just says Faction Jackson.
Yeah, some variation.
Are you gonna have what was that girl's name now? It was in that movie.
We're trying to be family friendly here, Pat.
She was a Prince girl. Prince started her. She was in that one band.
Oh yes.
And now she's reformed, born again Christian.
Her name is.
You had to look that up.
Don't know. Yeah. What's her name? She was a Latina, little short.
Not Apollonia. That was the girl after her.
Yes. So, anyways, enough of the Prince knowledge. Let's just wrap up the industry talk. What do you think? What's the future going to bring? You think it's going to go down to only like 4 companies, or you think it's still going to be able to support all these little companies?
There will always be a miniature company coming and going. It's a revolving door. I very much think it's a revolving door. Whether or not you stay is how your business planning. You know, I think Mantic came out with a great business plan. You know, affordable minis. You know, I've told this story many times on many a podcast. You know, when the company first started, it was just here to make minis, affordable minis for your war games, because it was hard to get minis or get into the mini game. And as people started enjoying the miniatures that we were making for the price point, people then started asking for our game, and then that's how Kings of War came about. It wasn't like we released Kings of War and then made minis. We made minis, and then people started asking for a game, so we gave them a game.
Her name was Sheila E., by the way.
No, Sheila E. is not the one I'm thinking of either.
No,
that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of.
You guys are gonna make me look this up now, aren't you? It's gonna kill me if I don't know. But again, to answer your question, it is.
No, take your time.
It's definitely a revolving door. But what I guess your niche or whatever is what determines whether or not you stay in the lobby or not. What I'm thinking of is Vanity, and the band that she was in was Vanity 6. Look that song up and think of 1982 when that song came out, and think of what it was like when you were a 16-year-old kid.
Well, yeah. Anyways, the industry, yeah, it's the question. I think a lot of it's also management. Like, you can have the best game ever, and you can have the best miniatures ever, and it can fall apart. Like, even that new Confrontation, I guess that whole Kickstarter, it ended up making less money than it did on the first day, just because the mismanaged. Like, it's amazing what they you can really screw up a company pretty quick.
It's true. And I guess, and another thing that I think Ronnie did very well was bringing the community in and just being upfront with them and being friendly with them, and, you know, allowing the community to be a part of the process was another thing that Ronnie did very well. Of course, which is now a model that people are starting to use also, including some of the more bigger companies. But when you are friendly with your customers, I guess what it comes down to is good customer service again, is what I'm trying to say. If you have good customer service, then people will enjoy your company. And if they enjoy your company, they'll want to patronize your company.
Yeah, and they'll be more willing to accept mistakes, too, when you're like, okay, it's real people.
Or if you just own up to it. I mean, you know, I don't think there hasn't been a time when Ronnie said, listen, we thought this was going to happen, but then this happened, so to be honest, it's not coming till blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And explain the delays. Like, that's a lot of companies, especially in Kickstarters. They don't explain the delays, so people get angry. They think they're just screwing around. I always find Mantic, especially, they'll explain exactly why they're having a delay. This is happening. We're having this issue with the production in China or the shipping or whatever. And it's as long as you explain yourself, I think people are more willing to accept the mistakes, or not even mistakes, just delays, right?
Yeah, and you know, and so as you said, as the industry grows and rolling doors, if you do the right things, you'll stick around. I mean, do you think any company will be bigger than GW? I'd be hard pressed to say that there would be another company bigger than GW.
The only thing with GW is it's a public company, so if something...
Go ahead.
Well, since it's a public company, they could always sell. Like Hasbro or someone could buy them and then run them into the ground or whatever. Well, that's the only difference with those kind of companies. They could fail just because it is public.
In that sense, yeah. But I mean, to take that out of the equation, GW has time on their side, so they've been able to to go through the bad sculpts. And if anyone says you never had bad sculpts, you have never actually played the first edition of 40K or Irigo or even up to the third edition version of 40K.
Well, we played Warhammer 3rd edition, and those sculpts, I have them. They're terrible. Like they're like have no articulate. Like their arms are all part of their sculpt. They're just like little models. Like like tokens almost.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that just comes with time and everything else. I mean, Privateer Press's sculpts have gotten better since they first started. Our sculpts have gotten better since we first started. Things like that. It's just, but GW has the time on it because they were the first, and they're still doing it. So, and they were able to lay the groundwork down. So everything is set for them. So,
and yeah, like Rusty Beetle said, they also have the infrastructure. They have stores and on every corner.
They didn't have stores in the beginning.
Yeah, but that's, that kind of infrastructure is hard to defeat, where you have to fight for space in a store where they don't have to fight for space. They have their own stores. That's costing them tons of money, but it's something that in England, that's everybody just knows that. That's you're down the high street and you're seeing their store.
In America is different. So in America, they rely on the third-party store for the longest time. And they still do for that point.
But that's why in England, it's almost synonymous for miniature game is 40K. Like for people who don't know what a miniature, you're not 40K, but Warhammer. People don't know what
Warhammer's way more popular in England than it is than 40K is.
Yeah, but it's just that's just because they've grown up with it. It's like us thinking of GI Joes or things like that, or even just things that we're so used to. That's just something they see every day on the street. Even if it's your grandmother, they're like, "Oh yeah, that Games Workshop. I walk by that store every day." Like they might not know what each individual thing inside is, but they know of it. It's got a cachet in the society where I don't think any other miniature game in any in the United States, you say you're playing a miniature game, they think you're playing, they don't understand. Like I say that all the time to people, I play miniature games. What is that? It's like, well, I guess it's like Axis and Ally, what Axis or Risk. That's what people think of as Risk in that thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to get into the mindset of someone who has no clue what this whole hobby is.
Friggin' normies.
Normies.
They chaff my Johnson, them normies.
Chaff? Don't you mean chafe?
No, literally small flecks of foil on my genitals shoot out in all directions. Then at worst, like a worst case scenario, flares. Yeah.
You should have that looked after, Jack. You might need some ointment.
Yeah, you might need an ointment for that.
some soothing balm or
some kind of unguent or something.
Yeah.
So I think that wraps it up. I think that's good talk. Mantic's going strong still, especially with this Hellboy Kickstarter. We should mention that. That's still going on. If you're not, anybody who's listening to this who's not.
Soon, actually, right? The 28th or 25th?
Yeah, it's coming up. I think 10 days or something from now.
Yeah, 25th is Friday, so I think it's Friday.
Ooh. It's the 18th now, so yeah, get on it. Get your Hellboy fix.
I'm pretty sure everybody listening to this is probably on it.
Game that's coming out with a lot of miniatures.
Yes, it's up to 115, I think, last time I heard.
Miniature what count?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
There's a monkey with a pistol. So right there, just open up that wallet.
And the big that big monkey, the gorilla, he's huge. He's like 85 millimeters or something like that. I thought he'd be the same size as Hellboy, but he's gigantic.
Yeah, that's going on a 50 mil base.
Yes, it is. Like there's a nice in the Hellboy Fanatics Facebook group. There's a neat post with everybody posting the stuff they want to see next for like the next game, not just in Hellboy. And yeah, if Mantic can make any of those dreams come true, that'd be pretty impressive.
Well, I've been off the internets for a couple of days due to house remodeling. As you can tell, my normal office is not where I am normally at.
Yes, usually in your hobby basement.
And your living room does look a little. It's got a little eclectic back there. It's got the.
We've redone the floors in both bedrooms and the hallway, so everything in both bedrooms is now in the living room.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize it's your living room. I thought you were in a bedroom.
No,
Rob, why do you never look in the background of anything?
Because I'm looking at Pat's beautiful face.
Oh,
he's looking good.
You gotta work past that, Rob. Right now, we've given 22 minutes of free entertainment beyond what the patrons have paid for. So right there, you should be happy enough to then relax and then look in the background. See,
I've been there.
Well, I've
been at both your places.
Yeah.
With my vicious guard dogs, one who will immediately lay down and insist to be petted, and then the other one that will just wants to lick your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're no help against the raccoons, those ones.
Yeah, those dogs.
Yeah, Tyrannahawk said, I want free minis from Pat. I think Pat would, he always threatens to give us stuff because he's got rooms full of miniatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want 3 minutes from Pat. I do want Pat. That's true. Rusty Beetle's correct. I wasn't just softening him up for free minis.
I'm a sexy man. Things happen.
Yeah, but he's not ruling it out.
Yeah, these things happen, Rusty Beetle. It happens all the time.
What happens at Mantic Night stays at Mantic Night.
We know that's a fact.
Or Facebook.
we all know that's a fact.
If you want a mini of me, you got to buy the Abyssal Dwarf on the half-breed.
That is Pat. Yep. That's me. Do you want a mini of Jack? It's a what is it? Puppets War. What's the miniature Jack?
Yeah, I made myself a miniature now. This is here. We're gonna deep dive into. There's me. I've got my me Puppets War. I think it's called an operator or something or other head I bought. I gave myself a Spandau right back there.
Spandau Ballet.
Yes, I am an agent group.
Oh, this is Pat's. Nobody knows this because we do hangouts, but Pat's unnatural ability is if he hears a song, he'll start singing it. If he can hear a name of a song in our regular conversation, it'll start become a song. He'll start singing.
We hang out with Pat so often that for me that was just okay. A vague music reference, like something connecting. He's gonna make the reference and then start singing. For me, it was just like okay, it's a day it ends in Y. For the audience at large, there you're seeing what happens when we all kind of just like.
I don't do it, and I just don't do it on Hangouts. I do it in real life.
Much to the chagrin of all your coworkers.
So if you happen to be at the booth and you drop a title of a song in casual conversation, I mean it has to be organic. It has to be part of the conversation. Just can't.
It's not a karaoke machine. You gotta
come in there and go, Inagata Davida. Yeah, I don't know. We don't sell that here.
No, let's do a little theater of the mind here. Let's just get into character. Hey, look over there. There's a flock of seagulls.
Flock of seagulls? Did you run over here too? And I run.
Oh my God. That's a miracle.
These kids putting quarters in a machine. Yes. Fun times. Well, when we start doing impersonations and making Pat sing, I think we might wrap this up.
25 minutes of bonus content. That is.
Well, I think it makes up for the 25 minutes of waffling at the beginning.
The 25 minutes that Pat was late because he was being attacked, what's the word?
Accosted.
Accosted, being punked.
Racially profiled.
Being shunned, being...
Raccoons.
Being fronted by gangster raccoons.
Yeah.
That's true. Those damn raccoons. Anyways, yeah. So that was a live show. We're going to be doing this every month. Every month
until the Patreon dips down below. What is it? $50?
$50.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says rep myself. What does that mean? What am I repping?
Oh.
I don't know. Oh, because you better rep yourself before you wreck yourself?
Because those raccoons, we've been having a little war since the last time we did a recording.
Yeah, they rang your doorbell. It was pretty impressive.
Tried to get me to come to the door to pop a cap. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. You looked through the little eye hole and you just saw a silencer, and at the last second you dodged. It was terrifying.
Well, that was why I did what I was repping. That's why I was late a half hour. It was a stare down, man.
Yes, it was a. I think it's epic. You gotta have like video surveillance of you just staring down some raccoons.
Well,
it is Chicago, so these raccoons aren't your regular average raccoons. They've gone through some
they even
stuff.
tried to get my milk delivery thing.
Yeah. So Rob, why don't we wrap this up? We get to do the whole subscribe the thing. We'll hop over on Discord. We got a Discord, in case you don't know, and we'll do a little like. Then we'll actually loosey goosey this. This has been a pretty tight form, regulated show. Get on Discord and get a little crazy. What do you say? Wrap it up.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up.
I guess we're wrapping it up.
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Yes, if you
that's Fabulous Thunderbirds in case you didn't get that.
If you want to hear more of this crap, come back next month. But generally, our edited shows are much better if you've never heard them. But
this is the first time of this DZtv. I think we did very good for the first time.
It wasn't too bad. But yeah, we'll be back next.
Could have been better if I was on time.
It's all good.
Whenever Pat shows up, it's the perfect time for some Pat. That's what I say.
Every day is Pat Day.
It's true.
Anyways, can I wrap this up?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, if you guys want more of this, come back next month. But if not, I don't blame you. Yes, and Coach says award-winning team building exercise is coming out at the end of the month. We still don't know what we're going to be talking about, so that should be fun.
I'd like to see these awards in the background.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely need that.
And I think our next, if you don't want to see this anymore, our next Patreon goal is $70 a month. We cancel this and we never do it again. That's it's the balls in your court, people. You know, you want to puff your chests out. You know, get all cobra with your arms, or get the robin breasts out. Hey, $70 and we just cancel it. We tank the whole project. Just sorry, we're done. Rob, yes. Come on, wrap this up. I've been begging you for. We're almost at now. It is a half an hour of free content. I'm talking to Union Rep actually. As soon as we're done here, I'm talking to Gary about Geraldo and his nonsense, about George and his dry clean business, and then you and your slavery.
So he knows Union Rep, but he doesn't know Guillermo's name.
It's Guillermo. What did I say?
Geraldo. You call him Geraldo.
Oh, that's who. I was wondering who he's talking about.
I'll get it right one of these times.
Okay, I'm going to put the Discord link in the YouTubes. Theoretically, you just have to put HTTP at the beginning because it doesn't let you put links in there. But you can come there. We'll be on the Discords. And you guys, thank you for being patrons. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry about these other guys. Yeah. I'll try to keep them under wraps next time. I'll rein them in better.
For being late and holding the train up.
And Jack apologizes for nothing.
Yes, I regret nothing.